Picture this. Last year, Caitlin Clark gets told she's Rookie of the Year over a speakerphone with her Fever teammates. No cameras, no spotlight, just a phone call. Fast forward 12 months. Paige Bueckers is walking down a spirit tunnel, TV lights flashing, and the commissioner hands her a shiny trophy in person. That's the script the league writes for Caitlin and Paige. Same award, but two totally different stories. What's going on behind these choices? That's what we're diving into today. The difference between these two Rookie of the Year announcements almost feels like you're watching two different leagues. Caitlin Clark, the rookie who transformed the entire business of the WNBA, was huddled up with her Fever teammates in practice when her then coach, Christy Sides, put the commissioner on speakerphone. That was it. No staging, no cameras, no fanfare. Just a phone call delivered in the most forgettable way possible. Compare that with Paige Bueckers this year, walking through a tunnel with music blasting, bright TV lights, and Cathy Engelbert herself personally handing over the trophy on daytime television. It's not just a difference in presentation. It shows who the league wants at the center of the conversation. Think about the situation Clark was in. The very season she was supposed to be honored as the top rookie, she had already put the league on her back. Fever home games sold out to the point they averaged over 17,000 fans, and broadcast numbers climbed by more than 20%. Those numbers weren't theoretical. They were money in the bank for the league and exposure they hadn't come close to before. Yet the way her Rookie of the Year news was communicated didn't reflect any of that cultural weight. The low production phone call didn't match the massive growth her presence had created. Make no mistake about it, millions of views, viewership, ratings through the roof. Everybody's on PJs now 'cause of her. The sellout show, sellout games, every arena, home and away. And you disrespect her like this? This is crazy, man. What makes it worse is how fans reacted. When the video of Caitlin finding out dropped, people were shocked at how bland it felt. Social media flooded with comments pointing out that the player driving record ratings couldn't even get a camera crew for her big moment. Fast forward to Paige, and fans are seeing balloons, singers, lights, a commissioner laughing and smiling with her on stage. It looked like the league wanted everyone to see it as an event. Instead of questioning the format, fans of Paige ate up the glitzy reveal. And that comparison instantly made Clark's moment look like an afterthought. Even Cathy Engelbert's role tells the story. For Clark, the commissioner didn't show her face. For Paige, she couldn't have been more visible, smiling ear to ear while passing the trophy like she was presenting the MVP at the finals. The difference wasn't subtle, it was glaring. People aren't dumb either. When you hype one star's award like a Hollywood premiere and treat the other like an after-school announcement, you're signaling exactly which narrative you'd rather promote. This is bigger than two ceremonies. It's about what the league chooses to celebrate and what it's willing to brush aside. Fans pick up on that faster than any press release. And it leaves one very real question hanging over the whole situation. What made the WNBA design two completely opposite Rookie of the Year celebrations for back-to-back superstars? I just want to know. Caitlin Clark comes into your league and saves a drowning league. I know damn good and well I can't remember any behind-the-scenes talk show appearance. I don't seem to remember that from last year. Didn't you get like a phone? Caitlin Clark got like a phone call or some. Oh, my bad. Paige Bueckers, she'd be checking some of them boxes, you know. She'd checking them right off. The LG. So was Paige's flashy Rookie of the Year moment really about her play, or was it about the league's politics? That's the question fans have been asking, because if you line up the details, it looks less like recognition of performance and more like a push for a specific narrative. The phrase people keep using is the Yukon Mafia. For years, former Huskies have held serious influence in media coverage, league offices, and endorsement deals. Paige comes out of that machine and suddenly she gets TV cameras, a polished rollout, and Nike pumping out custom shirts to mark the award. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark, who sparked actual sellouts and viewership growth in her rookie campaign, got no shirt, no TV spot, and not even a commissioner handshake. Fans see that gap and immediately start to question what's really being rewarded. Even Sue Bird, who has supported Clark all season, added fuel to the fire. She suggested Paige should receive the kind of spotlight Caitlin had. But the irony is obvious. Clark never got the kind of staged, commissioner-presented moment Paige just enjoyed. When those comments came out, Clark's fanbase heard them as an attempt to downplay what Caitlin accomplished and recenter the attention on UConn's next star. And when you combine Bird's words with Kathy Engelbert flying out to hand Paige the award in person on national television, it makes the whole thing look coordinated. Kathy Engelbert, so you did all of this for the Rookie of the Year this year, but you don't bother to show your face last year to give the Rookie of the Year to Caitlin. You don't even bother to call her, but you called her coach. What kind of hateful organization are you managing? The disrespect is ridiculous. Yeah, Kathy Engelbert is the worst sports commissioner. I think we can point that out. Never did this for Clark, who saved the W anyways. Critics like Christine Brennan and Eaton Thomas have pointed out this pattern before. They argue the league consistently favors UConn players in its storytelling, and that sometimes feels less like coverage of actual success and more like clout distribution. Nike taking such an active role in Paige's announcement, while doing nothing similar for the rookie, who literally shifted a league's economy, is another reminder of how deep those ties run. For Clark supporters, the message is loud and clear. The league doesn't always highlight the organic star who built momentum from scratch. It sometimes highlights the player who fits into an established media and business network. And that's why the hype around Paige feels less earned and more designed, which makes looking at her actual results on the court even harder to accept. Paige Bueckers winning Rookie of the Year, but no, it was not unanimous, and yes, more people voted for the runner-up than last year. Paige Bueckers just made history as Rookie of the Year, but not in the way anyone wants on their resume. She became the first player in WNBA or NBA history to win the award while playing on a team with fewer than 10 wins. The Dallas Wings limped to a 10-win, 34-loss finish, tied for the worst record in the league. And now, we're supposed to treat her Rookie of the Year case like an untouchable accomplishment. Instead, it looks like the strangest ROTY win the league has ever seen. Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever, made the WNBA playoffs last year, correct? Am I going crazy? Now look, that would have had to have been a result of Caitlin Clark joining the team, because I'm almost certain Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell were on the team prior to that. So, they made the playoffs last year. Paige Bueckers won exactly how many games this year? Did she win 10 games? I think she won 10 games this year. Think about the contrast here. Caitlin Clark pulled Indiana out of the basement just 1 year earlier, finishing with 20 wins and making the playoffs for the first time in nearly a decade. She led the turnaround of the then worst team in the league. She wasn't winning games by herself either. She elevated teammates. Aaliyah Boston looked like a defensive force in her second year. Lexi Hull carved out a spot as a steady three-point option. Kelsey Mitchell thrived playing next to a guard who commanded constant double teams. That's the impact of a star who transforms a franchise. Now, Paige's stat line wasn't empty. 19 points, 5 assists, close to 4 rebounds on strong efficiency. Those are legitimate numbers. But what do those numbers mean when there's nothing attached to them? No playoff chase, no bump in visibility for the team, no sign of growth across the roster. The Wings ended the season exactly where they started. Irrelevant in the standings and struggling to draw consistent eyes nationally. Meanwhile, Sonia Citron, the runner-up to this year's Rookie of the Year race, played every single game for Washington, poured in nearly 15 points a night, and led the entire league in three-point percentage at 44.5%. She was a model of consistency while giving the Mystics legitimate floor spacing and defensive effort. Yet when the votes came out, Citron got just 2 out of 72. 2. It erases the work she put in and makes it seem like the competition never existed. When the league hands 70 of 72 votes to Paige and crowns her despite a 10-win season, it doesn't feel organic. It feels scripted. Ignore the Fever's dramatic rise, brush past Citron's grind, and make sure the Yukon star gets her headline. Which is exactly why Clark fans now see Indiana's trajectory as the real story to watch heading into 2025. At the Engelbert, you are out of pocket. How dare you? How dare you disrespect Caitlin like that? Caitlin Clark, the face of the league, the needle, not the needle mover, the actual needle. While the WNBA is busy playing politics with award shows and stage-managed celebrations, Caitlin Clark is steady building something real in Indiana. What's happening with the Fever isn't scripted. It's wins, development, and a foundation fans can see growing in front of their eyes. Aaliyah Boston has turned into a defensive anchor who controls the paint and makes opposing bigs uncomfortable every night. Lexi Hull has worked her way into a reliable shooting and defensive role, spacing the floor and punishing defenses that trap Clark. Kelsey Mitchell, who spent years as Indiana's lone bright spot, finally has a backcourt partner who takes defensive pressure away and lets her play free. Around them, veterans like Natasha Howard and Sophie Cunningham know how to balance the energy of a young roster, while players like Chloe Bibby are carving out their place as dependable role fillers. That's a foundation. Now contrast that with Dallas. Paige put together good numbers but could never pull her team out of irrelevance. 10 wins across a full season told the story. Individual scoring doesn't matter when the roster doesn't click and fan engagement flatlines. Clark's impact isn't just basketball production, it's business. The Fever consistently packed more than 16,000 fans into arenas and turned their games into national broadcasts people wanted to watch. Merch was flying off the shelves. Other teams want that model, but it can't be manufactured. It came from real results and a team built to win. Fans aren't blind. The way Rookie of the Year ceremonies are staged makes clear who the league wants as the face of its story, even when the results on the court don't match the spotlight. That's why the contrast between Caitlin Clark's quiet phone call and Paige Bueckers' televised production struck such a nerve. What people want is honesty. If Clark built the wave, recognize it. If Boston, Hull, Mitchell, Howard, and Cunningham lift Indiana, celebrate them. Because 2025 won't be about staged announcements, it'll be about the Fever showing again that Caitlin Clark is the league's engine. Do you think the WNBA disrespected Caitlin Clark?